My throat is just...
Do you want some water?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I don't take performance enhancers. Got a lot of responses in from our question last week.
Did we?
No. Yeah, actually got one from this guy. We got one from this guy, Dan B. He says, so my embarrassing cricket first is I started a cricket podcast and asked people to send in questions and like no one did.
Yeah,
we actually got one in from Nathan R. I think
We
he's a
did.
friend of the show. He said, hey guys, long-term fan, which I thought was weird because we've done one episode. Can I get a shout out? So, hi Nathan. Thanks. You know, great that you're enjoying the show.
Please leave us a 5-star review.
Yeah. I can't believe we're back. I can't believe we've actually episode 2.
We are actually episode, like we were actually following through, which is crazy.
It's been a lot of talk. A lot of talk
for a long time.
On the waves that
I
maybe
think we had
weren't.
this idea 6 months ago.
We did. But you know what? It takes a while to sit down and talk into a microphone. Like it takes a lot. It takes more than you might think.
Hey, we're both mid-20s girlies living and working, living and working in London adjacent.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we're on the Met line.
We are. Well, you are. I'm not.
The royal we.
Oh, sure. Anyway.
It is hard. We're busy people.
We are. But we're not making excuses.
We're moving and shaking. We've got a lot going on. We're making big moves.
We are. And we're not making excuses anymore. We're recording.
No, we are recording. We're back. And hey, after last week's barn burner of an introduction, I mean, it was a pretty...
what?
Introduction.
A barn what?
Barn burner.
Barn burner.
Yeah. Just don't like the country people. Hey, and if you're watching or listening to this, because you can do either, and you're coming to us from a barn, I wouldn't burn your barn.
I had a dream the other day that I moved flats, like got a house.
Well, that's a big dream in this economy.
Well, and I
Not
woke
to get
up and
political, guys.
And I woke up and it was all a dream. I had a dream that I moved into a 4-bed and I was paying £600 a month rent, and I was really excited about that. But then when we moved in, it turned out that my room was actually just a barn with a single bed in it.
I mean, I was going to dox you. I was about to say where we were.
I was going to say, there's a reason I didn't say my tube line, because I don't want stalkers. Yeah,
I think the fact that I am of Watford isn't a secret on the internet.
Yeah.
Born and raised, baby.
And what was that like?
The thing about Watford is... The term grotty-watty might be a touch harsh. We have multiple parks.
Can you go in them at night?
Do I seem like the kind of person who goes into parks at night? No. Hey, Canterbury Park, lovely. Radlett Road playing fields.
Is that Radlett? As in Radlett?
As in the road would take you to Radlett, home of Middlesex County Cricket Club. Yeah, local. There is a question as to why I don't support Middlesex when they play a lot of their fixtures in Hertfordshire.
Yeah. And what's the answer?
Just like money, don't I? No. Hey. Fun fact.
Hit me.
You know the Kia Oval? I'm
aware.
You see the school next to the Kia Oval?
Yes. Yeah, the one across the road.
My nan went to that school.
Aww.
So therefore, I have a really emotionally astute argument for why I support Surrey. Yeah. That definitely isn't because I liked the colour of their kit.
Yeah.
And they won quite a lot when I was young. We're still young right now. Let's not get it twisted. But that's the if I'm ever backed up as the, hey man, you're from Hertfordshire, why do you support Surrey? Well, I'm just staying true to my family's roots.
Yes.
I mean, yesterday, for example.
Yes.
Double cricket.
World
Test Championship.
Yeah, that was a massive commitment.
Yeah.
What was the logistics of that?
The logistics of that was a tube train and a pocket full of dreams. Yeah. They said it couldn't be done.
And
it barely could be.
Did you vlog it?
No. Do you know why? Because I was just living the moment.
What a waste of a content opportunity.
Whatever happened to mindfulness? Whatever happened to just being present?
I do my 10 minutes of mindfulness every morning, and then I'm so mindless for the rest of the day. I take it off, get the streak, and I think, do you know what, now I can brain rot. And that's probably why I've got issues.
Issues?
Me and my heart We got issues.
Issues.
Are we going to get copyrighted for that?
Issues.
Perfect cover.
Yeah, if you didn't know, that was us. We didn't pull out Spotify. Who I'd like to thank Spotify for creators for really subjecting all of you to this.
I'm going to say it's a personal choice.
Personal choice?
To be listening to this right now.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I think you've done it to yourself.
It's your own fault.
Yeah.
You came back.
You came back.
Or worse, you joined the second week.
In which case, go back and listen to the best 8 minutes of audio you'll probably ever...
Yeah, I'd say so.
You look doubtful.
No, that's just my face.
Timid and unsure.
So the joy this week, I believe, is that, I mean, if GQ wouldn't interview us, brackets, yet, just interview ourselves, and by ourselves, I mean each other.
Yeah.
So you've drawn the short, long, medium, I will just delete as appropriate straw.
Yeah.
You get to ask me questions first.
Oh, God, this is my favourite thing. Have you always grown up in Watford?
I've always grown up in Watford, yes.
Not a little village on the outside, like Watford proper?
No, Watford proper town of 100,000 people.
That's
so it's
a lot
always
of people.
really good because you can extrapolate anything because it's like 100,000 is a really easy number to work with. So whenever I make an estimate about, like, you know, quiz questions, when it's like, oh, how many in the country? I'll just take that 100,000, think of what I know, and I'll expand it. And you know what, shockingly, it does all right.
Okay. And in what scenario are you using that?
Pub quiz.
For what, though?
If they're like, oh, how many Gregses are there in the country?
Gregses.
Gregses means Gregses. How many Gregs, plural, are there in the country? And I'll just take the number in 100,000, which off the top of my head I actually couldn't tell you, like 4 or 5. And I just, work my way up to 67 million using that.
And there's
Times
67
50
million.
by
I think we've hit 70 mil.
You know the thing about our population is it just goes and goes and goes.
Yeah.
Not
so
to get
70 times
not to get
5.
political. One child policy, man. Whatever happened to that?
I can't. Are we telling people that we were talking about Maoist China on a Spain holiday?
Yeah, that was the first conversation we had that day. By the way,
we'd not seen each other all day, and we sat down and we talked about Maoist China.
Because my feet had second-degree burns. It turns out I found out afterwards. Yeah, so if it blisters and bubbles, it's second degree, which I just wasn't aware at the time meant I probably should have sought medical assistance. So instead, I just whacked on as much aloe vera as I could find, and it worked. I can walk again. I think the problem is it's not a good story as to how I got burned, because it's not sunburn. It's much, much more embarrassing than sunburn.
It's so embarrassing.
Was it 15 minutes of beach volleyball?
I'm so sorry for finding this really funny. No, sorry, Dan. I'm actually really concerned for your well-being.
You saw the blisters.
I did see the blisters.
They're
They were
much
disgusting.
better now. But the thing is, I really enjoyed that when I then opened my phone and I saw the bride and cast interview. I think I sent to you.
You did send it to me, but again, I was paying so much attention I forgot what it was.
So he's had a bit of a hurty toe lately.
Okay.
I think to put it in like the scientific cricketing terms, hurty toe, bride and cast. And he was like, and I was just thinking at one point, like, if I just chopped it off, what then? What then? You know, maybe I'd be fine, but, you know, apparently you need it for balance. So bride and cast still has 10 toes, to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah.
I love cricket. I don't think at any point in my life have I thought, I'll just chop a toe off, get on with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Martin Guptill doesn't have. Well, Pat Cummins is also missing part of a finger.
What do you mean? Where did it go?
I think it got chopped off in a door by his sister when they were kids. Or something like that. He was playing around, horseplay, goofing around. That's Pat for you. Chopped off a bit of his finger. Bowling hand as well, I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
And has it stopped him from averaging 22 in Test cricket? No.
Do you reckon it's helped him average 22 in Test cricket?
Is this where we start an agenda that actually if Pat Cummins had like a full finger, he'd would be mid? Yeah, pretty happy.
Just for the purposes of rage bait, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, the casting though, as I was there looking at the state of my own feet, the sorry state that they were, I was thinking, like, it's nice to know I have one thing in common with a professional cricketer.
Yeah, and that is that your feet are a bit
of a bit of a mess.
A bit of a mess.
Yeah, so post
You could
feet...
use that. You know how boys are like, oh, I would have gone pro if I didn't have knee surgery. You could have been like, oh, I could have been one of England's fast bowlers if I hadn't got secondary burns on my toes from playing beach volleyball for 15 minutes.
In a word, yes. I think
that would work on Hinge.
I think cricket's quite good though for embarrassing injuries, but none of the injuries I've ever got playing cricket, i.e. just getting hit by a ball, come close to 15 minutes of beach volleyball searing the bottom of my feet like an omelette. That was the consistency, right? If you're listening to this and you're enjoying a meal, say you are enjoying an omelette. It's maybe you're a visual learner, so it's actually good for you. Beach volleyball, right? We've all seen Top Gun. We've all seen Top Gun Maverick, one of the greatest films, not just sequels of all time. There was a lot of beach volleyball going on.
And it was nothing like that.
It was nothing like that. Everything you think about beach volleyball from the greatest film of all time, forget. It was very hot. It was very hot.
It was hot.
And I was barefoot, which apparently is stupid.
I think... Look, I was intermittent between being barefoot and wearing my flip-flops. But when you're trying to run around playing beach volleyball...
Beach volleyball.
Beach volleyball.
So we're actually joined by Dracula today. Drac, how's the spin coming out?
I've lost it.
You've lost it. It's gone.
I can't. But the thing about flip-flops on sand is they kick up quite a lot of debris.
Yeah.
And that just got in the way of my game, so I just took them off and I firmed it. But I must have literally tougher soles than you, because my feet didn't experience second degree. They didn't even experience first degree burns.
Nice, really good for you.
So that was hot though.
It was
hot underfoot.
And I think, to my credit, for the rest of the trip, I just kept going.
You did. You did soldier on.
Maybe stupidly at some points. Like, I think there were times in hindsight, maybe just sit down.
So we were walking around the Picasso Museum and you had second degree burns on your toes?
Yeah. But they'd kind of started to get a bit better by that stage.
Okay.
Because there was a lot of medical assistance.
I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah. Hey, I'm a fighter. I'm a scrapper. Yeah. So the mean streets of Watford, born and raised on the... Well, no, I didn't really spend my days out on the basketball court. This isn't the Fresh Prince.
No.
Gonna ask me any more questions, interviewer?
Sure, let me just have a think about that.
I think I've just preambled that, Watford, very nice. It's literally the most standard place you can think of. We lost our John Lewis. That was a big hit.
Oh my God.
Like, obviously people lost a lot in the pandemic.
And
but
you got
for me,
John Lewis taken away?
For me, that was...
In COVID?
Yeah. Around that time. That was my big loss.
It
says a lot about the hardships of my life, I think.
Yeah. So about that childhood, it was fine, right?
It was pretty good, yeah, great.
Yeah, lots of trips to John Lewis.
Yeah, many hours spent on the Nintendo Wii.
What's your favourite Wii game?
Great question. I think Mario and Sonic at the 2008 Olympic Games.
That is a good one.
That's a really good one.
That is a
and
really
I
good
find
one.
it like crazy, obviously not to sound too old.
Yeah.
The kids these days don't understand the joy of plugging in the nunchuck, and you've got two motion capable handheld devices. And look, I know the Switch is cool. I love the Switch. Big fan of it.
Is it not just a massive Game Boy?
Kind of, but then also the little like Joy-Con things that break off.
A Joy-Con?
They're the little controllers.
And
Grandma. So, it's a big kind of like oval shape.
Yeah.
Not
The oval.
it's actually more shaped like Sophia Gardens.
Yeah.
Or the Utilita, I'd say, because they've got...
What? The Utilita's literally spherical.
The Utilita's not spherical. It's got
circular,
way shorter square boundaries than it has long boundaries.
But the bowl is circular.
Buddy, they lie. Yeah, Sophia Gardens, right? It's just a big rectangle.
Yeah.
Into the River Taft.
Short boundaries.
But the bits on the side come off, and they also go into like little handheld controllers.
Okay.
It's very fun.
Okay.
If you would like to experience joy at some point, I would recommend Mario Kart.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, that was a big one for me. The one thing I never did, though, weirdly, is I never actually played any of the cricket games that are available on the Wii. But having seen myself play cricket, like that probably would have ended my enjoyment of it there and then.
Talk to me about the Wii games.
Wii games?
As in cricket. I obviously just wasn't aware of cricket as a concept as a child. So I had the Pippa Funnels horse riding game on the Wii, which I think makes complete sense. Daniel James Booth
Yes.
was born on the
Oh.
21st
Yeah.
of May in the year 2000.
All of my like security questions being breached by this. We've got birthday. We've got like place of birth. We've got like
Watford
sports teams.
Hospital.
Hey, just don't ask me the first, name my first pet. It was a goldfish.
Oh.
What do you think I called my goldfish?
Fishy.
So close. What's the other half?
Goldie.
Goldie.
So if you're looking to hack Dan's bank details, the answer would be Goldie 2000.
Yep.
I also lie.
Agreed. I just I lie all the time.
Yeah, because I think
I'm having such a good time.
you could find out quite a lot about me from the internet, because if you Google my name, I'm the only person in the world.
Funny that.
So, like, I am the only Clara Sublitsky in the whole entire world. So,
if there are any other Clara Sublitskys
I can tell you
out
for
there,
free, there are not.
Really?
They saw me and they thought, why would I bother?
God, we don't need more.
Yeah, one's enough, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so if you Google me, everything comes up. Like, my chess results in different competitions as a child, they come up.
Yeah, no, the thing is, I'm sure we had some great, like, memories as boy and fish. But I also,
like
don't...
Ponyo.
Yeah, but not many spring to mind. Like, we didn't really play, like, fetch.
No.
I'm sure I fed him if I could reach.
How sad were you when he died?
We got McDonald's for lunch afterwards, so like I think my mood probably improved.
And what did
rapidly.
you have at McDonald's?
I think it would have been chicken nuggets. Realistically, I don't think I was going to handle. You
couldn't have had a fish fillet, could you? Is that what they're called?
It's actually just too soon. That's just too soon. It's been. Hey, it could have been 20 years.
Rest in peace, Goldie.
Yeah, rest in peace, Goldie. Which, weirdly, like, being 5. People always talk about, like, the 2005 Ashes to people our age, but, like, I don't remember being 5 at all. Maybe my brain doesn't work properly, but I don't remember that at all. I don't remember cricket until PE lessons.
Well, yeah, I mean, we never did cricket at school until maybe year 9, so I definitely remember being 14, although I have blocked a lot of it out. But in terms of 2005 Ashes, I don't think I had no conceptual awareness that was happening. I've seen the images on Getty of the street party. When was that?
2005.
Cool.
Gotcha.
The summer of.
I mean, I think as well, it's really important to note, a lot of people assume that I'm one of those people who's like, from being a young child, knew and cared everything about cricket, because I am now insufferably like across everything. But it's really important to note that around that time, I was probably just impressed that there was a guy called Freddie Flintoff and Andrew Flintoff in the England team at the same time. Like, I was there like, oh, that's crazy. I know they cousins. It took me a few years to be like, oh.
That is the same.
It's just one guy.
And do we know why Andrew became Freddie? Is that something that I should know?
I just don't think that's a question that I'm qualified to handle. Okay. But I've thought this, nicknames that aren't shortenings they're pretty wild.
Yeah, because you don't have a nickname, really. Well, you don't call you Danny. That's weird.
It is weird.
And
I mean, no,
I suppose
Dan is.
Technically, but you just
Daniel.
can't be operating as a Daniel.
I can't operate as a Daniel.
No, I don't think anyone. You can't. If you're introducing yourself as Daniel, I think that the eel is superfluous to the whole thing.
It's just Dan.
It's just Dan.
Everything's just Dan.
We don't even call you DJ Booth, and we should.
Yeah, that's probably the career I should have had.
Yeah.
It was right there, DJ Booth.
It was right there. What's that called? Nominative determinism.
Yeah, nominative determinism.
We had a piano
Splitsky
teacher at school.
Not really.
No. We had a piano teacher at school called Mr. Keys, which is just brilliant.
Really good.
And there was another one. Genuinely think there was like a Mr. Tune or something who like...
Get the tunes on, lad.
Yeah, he was the resident school dining room DJ.
Yeah, boiler room sets, dining room sets.
Yeah.
We had a food tech teacher called Miss Beveridge.
That's really good. That is really good. But back to you.
Back to me.
Back to you. So Daniel James Booth was born on the 21st of May, 2000.
He was.
In the Great Millennium.
Yes. I mean, I
can't believe you didn't get to see the fireworks.
Yeah, I think I really would have taken them in if I was like 2 months old.
Yeah, I mean, I was, 2.5 months old.
Yeah.
Best day of my life.
Yeah. You should have been there. You had to be there, bro.
Dan, look, I don't know what to tell you. If you missed the millennium, then you've missed it. Like, there's no going back now.
I think about it a lot.
I think I would. No, I wouldn't have been in London. I would have been in Northampton.
Whoa.
What's worse, Northampton or Watford?
Almost certainly Northampton.
At least we've got a cricket ground.
Yeah, we? We? Is this podcast French?
Oui.
Where?
Yeah, you don't have a Watford County Cricket Club, do you?
Well, no, because Watford's not a county.
Watfordshire.
Hertfordshire County Cricket Club?
Does that exist?
Hertfordshire County Cricket Club in the kind of like minor counties, yes.
Okay, would that play in the same sort of leagues as Devon?
You remember the T20 like county cup they had this year?
Yes.
Hertfordshire were in that.
Oh, well, good for them. Yeah. And where did they come?
Let's not talk about that. But hey, Surrey got to the final. So sorry to the people of Hertfordshire.
I think I've uncovered the reason why you support Surrey and not anything to do with your actual home.
Which is...
You just love winning.
I do love winning.
You love winning, you love money, you love glory.
But I support Arsenal.
And turquoise.
I support Arsenal, who famously keep finishing second. And when I was a boy, kept finishing fourth. So that's not very just winning.
No.
Maybe I just like being a loser, but nearly winning.
You like the possibility. Do you know what it is, Dan?
Yeah.
I think you have a fear of success. So you just allow yourself to fail.
I have a fear of success.
Yes.
I don't think that's necessarily accurate. I think I may have delusion. I think I may have the opposite of fear sometimes. I think I simply believe that this is actually like gonna be like world changing, because it is.
It is. It's the best cricket podcast in the world. And we've probably spoken about cricket for 45 seconds.
Yeah.
Maybe we should talk about more.
Yeah.
I mean, we've spoken about Bryden Castles. Yeah, no, please. It's a yoga pillow. Be my guest. You should be familiar with that as a yoga and Pilates aficionado.
Yeah. Didn't fix me though.
No.
Back to the doctor. Yes, now I'm lounging. Now I can talk.
Now you can
now
talk
I can speak freely.
Yeah. Okay. So
if you could ask me any question.
Any question?
I think about that. This is supposed to be a cricket podcast as well. Hey, I'm not going to constrain you, but it would be good for.
It would be good to talk about cricket, wouldn't it? Okay. Okay. Sticking to the theme of firsts, what is your earliest cricketing memory?
I was a bad sport. I've a bad story to tell. I'm familiar with the Mankad, or as we're supposed to refer to it as like run out at the non-striker's end, because naming can be bad. I thought I invented it when I was like 6 or 7. Okay. I thought I was the smartest guy in the world. I was like, why has no one else thought of this?
Yeah.
Then I learned about the spirit of the game as an adult, and I'm still proud of it. So going back to when, I was there and I was briefly aware of cricket, like Andrew and Freddie and all the other England cricketers.
My favourite cricketing duo.
Andrew and Freddie Flintoff. Yeah, my faves.
How good of them to like grow up and play cricket at the same time.
It's beautiful. Identical so nice. As well, I think.
Yeah, I really have struggled to tell the difference.
Them apart. There we were, primary school, summer term, out on the field, which is big, because we've been on the tarmac until that point, because it hadn't been a good summer. I think this was maybe 2006 or 7, whenever Umbrella by Rihanna came
2008.
out. Thank you. And it was really rainy.
I think I'm Googling that.
Baby, it's raining.
Ooh, baby, it's... Get your phone out, please. Mine's too far away. Or maybe Siri will know. Hey, Siri.
Ed.
When did Rihanna buy Umbrella?
Yeah, leaving that in.
You can show them if you ask again from your
Sorry, can we 2007, I was right. Can we talk, do you have an Australian Siri?
Yeah, I do have an Australian Siri.
Can we unpack that? Why do you have an Australian Siri?
Because I think the British one's too sort of military.
I think there's just something about this that is so not surprising that you're like, yeah, of course, you've got an Australian bloke as your Siri.
Okay, I have.
Does your Siri have a moustache as well?
And a mullet. I have actually been asked about this before, about why I don't have it as a woman, but
I'm trying to win Ally of the Year. Clara is not.
I don't... No, right, okay. It's fun. Okay, it's fun to every single morning go, "Hey Siri, what's the weather today?" And some kind Australian man tells me that it's going to be sunny.
Rain is forecast today. Daytime temperatures will hover around 27 degrees, with overnight lows around 16.
Is that not bringing joy to your morning?
Yeah. I mean, I just don't speak to my phone. Because no one ever calls me.
Oh yeah, that helps. You know, it does bedtime stories.
Really?
Yeah, put your mic against it. Hang on. Okay. Hey Siri,
Uh-huh.
tell me a bedtime story.
Once there was a boy who didn't like sleeping. He was much too brave and strong for that sort of thing, you see. But every night, after hours of tossing and turning and humping, he'd nod off and wake up the next morning, even grumpier than when he had gone to bed. You can't hide from the Sandman, said the boy's mother. The what? Asked the boy, hiding how scared he was. He's a magical being that helps people sleep, said the boy's mother. Well, he's not gonna get me this time, said the boy. That night, he built a pillow fort and sat there behind his fluffy cotton battlements, ready to defend himself from this sand-sprinkling weirdo. Minutes passed, then a few dozen, and then a few hours. Suddenly the boy's eyelids felt heavy. It's him, said the boy. But then he remembered that, if you get sand in your eyes, you should blink, and so he blinked once, then twice, and when he opened his eyes after the third blink, it was morning. Mummy, the Sandman got me, screamed the boy. Honey, the Sandman is imaginary, she said. I just meant that everybody needs sleep. It's hard to be brave and strong when you're tired, isn't it? The boy, sniffling and snuffling, knew his mother was right. That night, the boy's mother found him fast asleep, right at bedtime. Thanks again, pal, she said to the Sandman. He sighed. You had to tell him I'm imaginary. You know how hurtful that is, Sharon. Good night.
And as far as relaxing bedtime stories go, I'm going to say that wasn't right. I think I'm scared. I think that's sort of a horror story.
Yeah, Sharon has lied to her child.
Yeah.
Because there is a sand sprinkling weirdo. To paraphrase what we just heard. That's great. That will make mate, that's probably my favourite content we've got so far.
Yeah, I've always had my Siri as a man.
Yeah.
And I don't know what that says about me.
Hey, I think we do. So it's summer of 2007. Umbrella by Rihanna is everywhere. It's pretty raining, which is fitting because, you know, the song invokes rain.
Yeah.
We're playing cricket. This is like my first time playing cricket. I wasn't one of those children who was there like, you know, ever since I could walk, I had a bat in hand. No, I wasn't.
No, I've seen you throw and catch.
Well, that's just mean.
Is it mean if it's true?
I just don't... Look, hey. I found when we were playing cricket that I wasn't really getting wickets with my bowling.
Uh-huh.
And bear in mind, this was like quick cricket.
What do you bowl?
Whatever comes out.
Oh. What are you trying to bowl?
Leg spin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, but at any point have you looked at me and thought bustling fast bowler might be what I was about to say?
No.
No, and obviously I'm too cool to bowl finger spin.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that unpacked.
So leg spin, great head of hair.
Yeah, floppy.
It adds a lot to...
Yeah, imagine the pictures on Getty.
Something might happen. At that point, we learned about being caught out and being bowled out.
Yes.
But that week, we learned that you could run people out. We'd learned, hey, if someone isn't in their ground, the wording obviously being important, if someone's not in their ground and you've got the ball in hand...
And you take their stumps.
Yeah.
They're gone.
There I was, you know, probably in the middle of like a really great spell. Like I was thinking, right, I'm going to set him up for the slider here. Kind of a couple of ones quicker into the pitch.
Yeah.
It's not turning too much.
Tell me about the surface that day.
Very grassy.
And
very grassy.
You were playing on grass.
We were playing on literal grass.
Okay.
So obviously it was, you know, sliding on a bit. There wasn't too much turn. Good bounce. Maybe because we were using tennis balls half the time.
Yeah, that would do
but
it.
Tennis ball bounce on grass.
Hey, hard to read.
Sponsored by Wimbledon.
Please. I think we know some people at Wimbledon.
Hey, there are rumours abound. So obviously, it's not taking too much turn. I'm finding it's kind of going straight on, which often is the one that takes the wicket.
Yes.
Not in this case.
No.
There I am, ball in hand.
Oh, it's gone.
Off
Carry
my, you know, fiercely long run up, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Sorry, long run up.
I wasn't taking a run up. It was a joke.
Oh.
I'm bowling leg spin as a 7-year-old.
That was. I was going to say you got that all wrong.
I'm like, hey.
Sorry, let me get my level 1 coaching certificate out. You are all wrong.
And I'm like, hey, hey, buddy, this guy's not in his crease, and I have the ball in my hand. Gunk.
Were there tears?
Yeah, immediately. The teacher hadn't been looking.
Yeah.
So she turns around. There are tears.
From you or the batter?
If I've just run someone out, why would I be crying? I was cheering. I thought, I was there like, I'm so clever.
Yeah.
I'm so clever. No one's ever thought of this.
Booth.
No one's ever thought of this before. These idiots.
Yeah.
The teacher comes over and it's, her name was Miss Beaumont, not Tammy. No relation as far as I'm concerned. Though. Yeah, obviously just can't escape the cricket. This kid's crying. And I'm just there like, proud as punch. Hey, I run him out. I think it's probably what came out of my mouth.
Yeah.
I was very excited. I was like, well, it's a wicket's a wicket, isn't it?
Yeah.
To which this kid was crying. And at that point, I didn't realise, but we'd actually just kind of preempted the spirit of the game conversation. Really, like, I was Deep D. He was Charlie Dean. There were, like, tears in both occasions. But my view in all of this is, like, just stay in your ground.
Oh, okay. And if Charlie Dean is listening...
But not when you're playing for England. I mean, Josh Butler got Mankaded as well, and I definitely took that reasonably in the IPL by Ravichandran Ashwin. Then they became teammates at the Royals. It was really same with Deep D and Charlie Dean at the Spirit.
London Spirit, yeah.
No, shockingly, I got told like, hey, very very clever, but like I was lied to because I was told, oh, it's just actually not out. So clearly my dear teacher wasn't au fait enough with the rules. I'm sorry, the laws of the game, not the rules.
Or she was just thinking about the well-being of people in your class.
Yep.
Which, as a teacher, is
but can
her
I
want.
say this now?
Please.
He was a kid who would cry over anything.
Okay.
So part of me was happy. You
did it on purpose, really?
I did it on purpose.
And where is he now?
I don't know. Probably still Watford. Once you're in, you never leave. But that was my first introduction to cricket, so it's not really a surprise that I've then spent the rest of my life being obsessed with like the stupidest parts of the game possible.
Yes. Is that where it started? Like, have you always been interested in cricket since that sort of? So first,
I was a very like casual international fan. So when the Ashes would be on, I'd always keep up with the Ashes or your big ICC events. Mm-hmm. Only really then when I became old enough to venture for myself was I like, hey, I can just like go to the Oval.
Yeah.
Which everyone does.
A lot of people do, yeah, famously. I
was there last night. Big one. 3 needed off the final ball. Chris Jordan. It's what he does.
Clutch.
Yeah. I did see someone...
Is that how you'd use that word?
Yeah. Yeah, really. Yeah, good job. Saw someone we work with.
Yeah.
I think the Oval is one of those places where if you work in and around London...
You're going to see someone you know. 100%.
And, hey, I'm cool with that. Obviously... We've got the fans as well. It's pretty hard to go to the Oval without being flocked.
How many times did you get stopped yesterday?
I just got 2 messages afterwards. People being like, hey man, I think I saw you today. Aww. Which I think is really nice because it suggests an almost like, I don't want to go up and be like, but also...
But you love it when people do.
I love it. Hey, if you're listening to this and you ever want to come and tap me on the shoulder and say, hey man, just a really big fan of like top 5 most XL bully cricketers, which is a deep cut. You know, that does exist. Hey, OGs, remember. Fine by me. Mm-hmm. I love it. You know, hey, and this is on the record, wherever this pod takes us. Mm-hmm. If anyone ever were to come and say hi, and I try and like palm them off, or like, hey, oh, not right now, just hit me. And like, I mean that deadly seriously. Whack me over the head. Because like, just shut up, man. Just be nice.
Yeah.
I actually just love talking about cricket with random people I've never met before. It's so good. Just talk to people. That's just a lesson for life, isn't it? Just talk to people.
Yeah, that is so true. You just get such a long way when you make friends.
If you mankad someone when you're like 6 or 7, you may then just make a cricket podcast nearly 20 years later.
It's funny how the world works, isn't it?
Funny how the world works. Then I started making my silly little videos. But that wasn't until like 2 years ago.
And what inspired you to do that?
Boredom, a sense of existential crisis. I was like, look, I just can't become a management consultant. And that's nothing against people who are management consultants. But I was there, like, I had the interview, had the job offer, staring at my phone, thinking, hey, what if instead I was like...
An influencer.
Cricinfluencer.
Yeah.
I think what fueled that was just a sense of like, whoa, I need to do something. And my something just into making videos about cricket. Which, like, it was only supposed to be for fun until I found, like, then a serious job where maybe I'd keep doing it for fun. The mistake I've now made is I now just work in cricket.
Yes.
And I make videos professionally and for fun.
And where is the line between the work and the life?
It's just all fun. That's the secret.
Yeah.
None of it's work if you... Hey, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
That's what they say.
I think that's interesting because that's actually when we first encountered each other.
We first encountered each other because I was
Hey, say it.
No.
Say it. You said the
follower.
Friend of the show.
I was a follower.
Yeah.
Of D.Booth 21. Or is it 21st of May?
Yeah. I'm really inventive. That was that's the interesting thing about that TikTok account that I think in hindsight I've obviously done completely wrong. That was just my like completely personal like just look at TikTok account.
Yeah.
So I now don't have any form of like burn or non like I'm the For You page on D.Booth 21 is the weird extension. One, right? Like it's not professional. There's very little cricket on there.
Yeah.
There's just a lot of like just a lot of weird stuff really.
What is on your For You page?
It's fine. That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Let me just skip past the first 5. So here's a joke about an NBA player sacrificing a child to win a match in the NBA finals.
Okay. Yeah.